Hold on. Just get those wonderful toys.
You are hearing me talk.
Dick.
Finally.
Butt. Dick. Butt. Dick.
Cracks,
Butt.
cracks of
Dick.
butt crack, butt crack, butt crack, butt crack.
69. 69. 69.
Yoko Bono, am I right?
We don't have a secret sound on the show. Welcome to Laser Time. Elson, you want to bring us in? You're the one. You got to carry the energy here. Welcome to Laser Time, where we talk about stupid things and esoteric horseshit. I am your half host, Chris Antista. My other half host is
Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake, right here on the mic.
I have a half host right now. I'm hoping to get full host.
Is that an age show? Not sure if we're ready for that.
No, I think it was a boner joke.
Okay, got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
You can't have half aids.
Now you have to say your name.
This is the Thunder Lizard Gojira, coming at you live on the mic.
What do we know? What we normally dig through our vast pop culture knowledge. Try and play some wacky sound effects. Usually give you a little bit of a history lesson. This one is less of that.
Yeah, the last few episodes we've definitely done more like, did you know that in the 70s?
Did you know
that was a
that?
great. You son
Now
of a bitch.
you know.
I did a lot of research
No,
into
those-
Showtime.
No, those were good episodes. Those actually are really good. What all did we do recently? It was the paid TV channels,
A brief history of pay TV.
and then there was a 1-900 number retrospective.
Most expensive everything.
Most expensive
we did a little
everything.
bit
those,
of that.
Those were all good. A modern renaissance.
In the beginning, we did all about 80s rap commercials
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff like that.
But this one is going to be intolerable. So, about a year ago, close to that,
It's still audio garbage, which is another
yeah,
theme that we
yeah.
hold.
and we did this maybe a year ago, which was the Shame Songs thing, where we all plugged in our songs that, you know, who cares? We love them and they're garbage, and we can't help that we love them. We all had a good laugh, and it was a great episode. And I've
Oh
always
yeah, the Sliver soundtrack makes you want to be a better person.
no, that's Pure Moods,
I bet.
not Sliver. Come on.
Such indignation.
My Sliver deck, however. But I over the last many years, ever since the Talk Radio days, have gone on about like, oh man, I heard that song every day in Toys R Us, and can you believe the horse shit I had to listen to at Toys R Us? Because people want to talk about their crappy jobs and the music that's piped in, and there's a
Well,
generation.
people want to talk about crappy jobs. I think you did have the crappiest of.
Sir, I doubt it's the crappiest, because I mean, there's like, you know, I have to literally dig trenches and ditches. Like that's
actually, you said Toys R Us had like a 401k or something
No,
like that.
I had a 401k, and by 20 when I quit in 2004 at 23, I'd worked 5 years to the day. They matched my 401k, and I quit the next day. And they
I
did
work- I
it
worked
for
at
a part-time employee.
I worked at McDonald's part-time, which currently offers a handy guide on their website on how to apply to welfare and other government services.
Oh, goody. Nanny state right there, bud.
That is a fact.
I think it was McDonald's that had like, here's how to afford living
Yeah.
as a McDonald's employee, and
It's
one of the things
impossible.
is a second job.
Second job and assisted living.
Good God.
It's almost as bad as that Walmart Thanksgiving food drive where it was like, donate food so Walmart employees that work here can have a Thanksgiving dinner
God.
Christ.
in a warehouse filled with food that costs $1.50. We couldn't
Right.
possibly donate this.
Yeah. But everybody has to work at a job where there's always some music piped in via satellite that you have no control over.
Fucking Delilah.
And there are now generations of people that have just grown up and like that know songs from the 70s, 80s, and 90s that like weren't there when they were popular, weren't there when they were getting radio play, but they're like, yeah, I've heard Kiss from a Rose every day.
Yep.
Because I have no choice, and it's a great song. It's a great song.
Gwyneth Paltrow, Huey Lewis cruising together from the duet from the movie, I believe called Duets.
Ugh.
I know that whole soundtrack because it was piped in every day, courtesy of Delilah, into my Chinese restaurant.
Yes.
I love it when we're cruising together.
But Toys R Us
It's a better day
is a special brand of awful because it is satellite music that you have no control over, but it is all, in a way, timeless yet worthless music.
I didn't know this existed until my friend who worked at Walmart that there's there was satellite radio well before there was satellite radio. That there's these stations that you guys pay the rights to.
Yeah,
like
it was like Sirius pre-Sirius.
But you can't. But I think it's because Toys R Us can't publicly like. You couldn't put it on your own playlist on a chain because you would be mass broadcasting things. So
you'd have to get that approved. And we all don't want to go through that process.
They're essentially paying a license to play songs in Toys R Us.
15, 20 years ago, it was crazy technology. You get music from a satellite dish?
Weird.
And I had to go up there one time and fix it, and I was like, this could go wrong.
Or get special powers.
Brett died, but we have Yanni music back on.
I had to hang up a Lion King 1/2 giant banner from the roof of the building.
Sweet.
How was 1/2, by the way?
It's pretty shitty, but it's better than 2 because it contains a lot of the characters you know about. It's what takes place in between Simba going off to live with Timon and Pumbaa.
And where does the ride take place?
There's a ride?
No, there's no ride. That was a test.
See, trick question. I got it.
guys, I'm gonna pass out.
Stop it, Grim. Come back.
So, but
give him some jazz flute or something.
Toys R Us in the flip side had, and I worked there for 5 years, and ad nauseum have gone on and on about this. But I've never really subjected everyone to the music I've had to endure. And when I say like, oh yeah, that's a shitty, it's like the songs that are awful, like radio songs, were a brief respite from the stuff such as. John Lithgow.
I had a rooster, and the rooster pleased me. I fed my rooster by the green apple tree. My old rooster went cock-a-doodle-doo-dee-doodle-dee.
This is John Lithgow singing in the bathtub.
You introduced me. Sorry, you did throw all these at me one day, and I was fascinated. I'm like, we need to do this because I didn't know John Lithgow had this many, not an album, this many albums of mostly children's songs.
He's a pretty successful children's entertainer. Like he's recorded lots of songs, and written books.
He's like the creepiest man in the universe.
He also has the hippopotamus song. If you're so inclined.
You had to listen to this?
Yeah, this is the show. Now imagine I'm a.
He gazed at the bottom as it peacefully lay.
Now imagine you're a sexually frustrated 19-year-old with no outlet for anything.
Cleaning a toilet.
Cleaning a toilet that someone has jizzed and threw Yu-Gi-Oh cards in. And this is a slice of life. And then
does paint a picture.
And then I got to go put out a case of worm lights for your Game Boy Color. And
we call them snake lights down south.
Oh, blue-eye white dragon.
And then this is another
as the camping lines begin to go stinky right around the Hot Wheels reveals.
God. And then this is another great one. This is this is a song called Roy G. Biv,
Which is the color spectrum, guys.
It sure is. If you wanted to learn about the color spectrum, while you
why not do it with a recorder?
I know a boy named Roy G. Biv.
This is like Marnie in Third Eye Blind.
Where he lives.
His name stands for the
Colors of the rainbow.
Oh, you actually know the lyrics?
Of course I do.
This is crazy. Can you do a little?
I only know the first part because this is normally where I. Is the color of a bouncing ball.
Wow! You poor man. When somebody I was reading, probably fucking Adbusters, and they were talking about advertising, how it's not taxed, but it borrows a piece of your consciousness. And anything else that did that, if someone were to walk into your home and give a sales pitch, you would either have to invite them or they would pay you.
Right.
So, like, if you think about how much of Brett's brain real estate this is now this is now occupying, you'll never be able to get it out of there.
Yeah, I have.
You can't selectively superior.oc this part of your memory on.
I can't have it back.
Well, now you know all the colors of the color spectrum, so
Well, at least
it's
3.
kind of a good
And
thing.
thank you for that. I can't find an actual live one of this, but I'm sure you all know the Wiggles.
Sam, I'm Murray, and I'm Anthony. We know that clean
Would it
team
surprise you that I don't know any? I know who they are.
Okay,
But
well,
It's like imagine the Teletubbies, but it's just for British guys.
Yeah.
brushing is so important.
there's a brushing your teeth.
It's when
song.
all of the Teletubbies lost a mask match in WWE, so they had to demask.
This is the prequel before a horrible experiment turned them into the Teletubbies, where they were ground up and their beef essence was filled into a sack, and then the sack grew eyeballs, and then that is the Teletubbies.
Yeah, like
Earth 15 Teletubbies.
if the Shirt Tails could learn instruments. It's a little too deep. Let's keep going. Let's not dwell on that one.
So this is another one, a song from our one of the most famous and greatest women of all time, Barbie. Had a song about Thinkin' Pink.
Instead of Pink Panther.
Oh yeah,
You
man.
poor dear.
Oh yeah, every day.
Up next on Welcome Freshman.
Oh man. These are like one step removed just from ad commercials.
Yeah.
Or really bad theme songs to TV shows that had 4 episodes.
Yeah, it all sounds like Disney Channel or Nickelodeon
Yes.
refuge.
Radio Disney.
So this is building to the chorus, which is the only part I remember. And again, if you've ever been in a Toys R Us, the barrage of pink that is in the Barbie aisle.
Yeah.
I feel like there's some super explicit song with the same title somewhere about getting in that pink, yo.
I don't get it.
You don't have to get it. It's just everybody else nodded in agreement.
I don't understand.
Okay.
Oh,
Carry it wherever you want.
Chris was the guy in the bathroom jerking off with the Yu-Gi-Oh.
oh, that explains a lot, actually.
They're all pink on the inside, no matter what their fire.
And I'm sure you've heard Elmo say drop a fat beat from now on time.
Almost singing the 4-bar blues.
She said, Elmo, can't you see?
Just thinking that Kevin Clash is singing this with like his finger and a 14-year-old like right next to him.
Allegedly.
What?
Is that all you got, Chris?
I actually thought you meant he was going to sing about dropping a fat beat.
No,
That's
no.
what I was waiting for.
Oh,
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I'm logged in as Dave on this. I got to be very careful about it. Your history's going to be
Favorite
really
that all your subscribers on YouTube. What will it say?
Unsubscribe.
Is anyone who wants to interject? Otherwise, I'm going to burn through these at an alarming rate.
No, what was it a cover of? The Beatles?
It's not John. It's Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney.
Is it Drive My Car? No, that's
Yeah.
the Beatles. Yeah.
Drive My Car? It's so weird. That's the only.
It's a Paul McCartney. Sorry, whatever.
It sounds very Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
But there was one song.
Simplistic and reductive. John Lennon was the better one. Controversial opinion. Not at all.
I'm a Ringo guy. I always will be.
Caveman was just too good.
I love Caveman. There's like 2 fart jokes in it. As a kid, I could not wait for that to come on Caveman.
90 minutes worth it for 2 fart jokes.
It's hilarious. I remember describing parts of Caveman to people in school. Like, guys, you got to see this movie. Little did I know how the rest of the world felt about it.
Never heard of this.
It's Ringo Starr in a movie.
It's
He's a
like
caveman.
it's like a Flintstones movie without the license and like a really heavy
Wow.
PG-13 rating. So a bunch of gore, farts, poop, boners.
see. Well, it's strange how most of my favorite songs have been Ringo songs after I finally bothered to pay attention.
Well, I mean, you have been indoctrinated to apparently 800 gigs of children's songs. So.
Like Octopus's Garden is a song I know from
Yes.
Toys R Us. Like, but then for me, one of the brief respites was when I would hear this start, I'd
Is
be
this
like,
Sandstorm?
No, this is Alice DJ.
"This is Alice DJ, Better Off Alone."
Oh yeah, I knew that. Fuck
that shit!
Wait, what? What's the
There's a
reference?
version
here?
of this song with Limp Bizkit lyrics over this song.
Really?
Oh,
And
what
then
is that?
there's-
What is that called? I need to look.
Oh,
that
it's
up.
like
should
Alice
close
DJ
with
like
that.
Limp Bizkit, and it's got
Can we close with that?
and it's got audio from Star Fox 64.
Oh, yes.
Come a little closer.
Oh, here it is. Oh, this is the greatest thing of all time. Alice DJ actually they stopped performing after 9/11.
Jesus
Out of
Christ.
respect for what?
Jesus, this is the worst.
Wait, as soon as you hear Slippy kick in, though.
Let me jump ahead a minute.
Yeah.
Couple
It's like
minutes.
a
There's
6-minute
several
song.
minutes of like just that guy like.
It's
It's the guy
like
driving the train boss.
fucking
I think.
like oh yeah, it's not. I was gonna say Andros, but it's not Andros. Ah, there's net neutrality for you, everybody. Jesus. This only has 12,000 views.
Come a little closer.
This is the greatest song ever.
And this is like minutes of this.
What's wrong? Come a little closer.
This is art.
That fox scream is so good.
Let me jump 2 more minutes ahead.
Wow, really?
Yes.
What's wrong? Come a little closer.
God damn it. Intolerable amount of garbage. This is actually, over time I actually learned to love this. This is actually my first day there I heard this.
The Monster Mash? Sounds like Pluto.
So I'm looking at the count.
Wait, is this Madness?
One step beyond.
It's Smarties. This song I do find fucking intolerable. There's
Oh yeah, Smarty remix, Mad Buddha 2012.
yeah, this was a huge radio hit, unlike some transition in between actual music and
Yeah.
whatever the hell was happening early in the 90s. And
Yeah, when you could just
This-
like put this generic backbeat over a thing.
this swept the radio like wildfire
Yeah.
for about 2 fucking weeks.
Yeah.
But everybody just kept calling into the radio station, "Where's that Sesame Street remix?" And this is fine. This is nice.
It's fine,
And then
but-
there's like this. The middle breakdown is
Oh, yeah.
so ungodly. That's this shit.
This is so fucking bad. Like,
When you want to listen to Sesame Street and do a line at the same time,
Yes.
you need this song.
But again, this is like my respite of like, whew.
Thank
There's,
God.
there's not. It's not telling me about brushing my teeth and shit. Like,
if you're spending the weekend at Ibiza and you need to listen to the Sesame Street song, that's your only option.
but yeah, back to the Wiggles. Song about brushing your teeth. And just as an adult male, I'm like, and you wonder why more people don't just like snap and kill everyone. Like when you're just every day,
That is a special kind of torture. I
like
mean,
where you just
I hear about Guantanamo Bay and like them playing metal really loud 24 hours to
Yeah.
like freak people out. If it was I think this would be more effective.
Oh my God! I mean, Toys R Us and Babies R Us.
God.
all right. I gotta slowly.
Nah.
Hey girl, you
All right, that's enough of that.
God.
I bet if you walk in there right now, and did you guys not see the Lego Movie?
No, I haven't.
The movie is way better than it deserves. You don't need to hear a review of it here, but I mark my words, there are so many things from that movie that will be used for evil purposes, such as the "Everything Is Awesome" song that's used throughout the movie. I guarantee you will walk into Toys R Us
probably.
and hear "Everything Is Awesome" when you work it together. It's like written by the Lonely Island, but it's
weird.
the perfect modern kid song to play in Toys R Us.
Yeah.
Everything is
It was occasionally they would actually bother putting in new songs, and I remember Dido "Thank You" was in there.
I guess that's kind of inoffensive if you don't automatically associate it with Stan,
Right. Well,
which I do.
but Stan isn't the same song. So.
I know, but if you're a parent like with some knowledge of what's on the radio, walk in there and like, are they gonna play fucking Stan when my kid around?
Right, but that's Eminem featuring Dido, not Dido featuring.
Is that
Eminem.
not where you first heard this lick?
No, I knew the Dido song before.
You did? I didn't.
Yeah.
I did not.
Oh,
I
you
wish-
are
I
talking
wish-
to Brett Elston here.
Oh yeah, I'm in touch with everything.
With
Right.
Dido.
with Lady
Yeah.
Pop.
No, actually, how I
Dido's
knew
that like aqua creature from Tiny Toons, right?
how I knew Dido was in like 2000 Jones Soda
Yes.
when it was still. I mean,
When it was
the
still
same.
hot.
no, but I mean, I guess
Its shit is tired, is what you're saying.
yeah, when it was like what weird labels on all these sodas, crazy
soda.
Yeah, so the green one was fucking delicious.
It's the best.
But it had it was all album covers at the time, so it was like Moby Play, Dido No Angel, and all. And that's why I was like, what is Dido No Angel? Because I love Moby, so what is this? And I listened to it, so that's how I knew that. And then when Stan came out,
So
I'm like,
that's the person it worked on? Just imagine.
dude, this is like pre broadband, This is-
Pre-internet, I suppose.
Well, it's not pre-internet, but it's pre broadband. where I'm like,
Pre-free music, let's
yeah.
say.
So, well, by checking it out, it is. I walked into Walmart, scanned the CD, put the headphones on that Remember that archaic thing where
Yeah.
you would scan the UPC
Oh,
and
yeah.
like listen to 3 tracks?
I worked at a record store downtown in San Francisco, and homeless people would come in and just camp out and sit there and listen to shit all day. And it was like, I think someone actually got a skin infection from using the headphones because we never cleaned them. So anybody that came in that was really nasty.
That's
So since there's no record stores left, this advice is not useful. But always wipe those off before you.
Yeah. Well, no, I remember my last appointment at PAX East before my last one as a journalologist. I remember maybe it was PAX Prime. Anyway, who cares? But it was one of the last appointments I was ever going to take, and it was Darkness 2. And I remember walking up like, "Okay, you're up next." And I
believe in a thing called love.
and I put the
The darkness.
Oh, I get it. And I put the headphones on, and they are soaking wet. Like they are drenched with some guy's fucking ear head sweat.
That's
And I'm like, as soon as it goes in, I'm like, I just assume I'm infected with something.
that was what. Well, PAX can still. I caught the PAX plague last year. Not the swine flu.
Are sure that wasn't a darkness ARG and like a creature be growing out of your ear? Like, oh, this is cool, just like in the game.
I'm so immersed right now. I
someone-
can't wait to pre-order Darkness 2.
Wait, when you worked at the record store, which I guess are we trying not to name?
No, it's Virgin Megastore. It's where I used to work.
Oh, okay, not Tower.
I worked at Tower Records before that.
Okay, but what music do they play in the store? Is there a requirement?
We had a surly Irish asshole that ran Virgin Megastore, so it couldn't be anything loud, abrasive, or too cussy. But he would basically play whatever was hot that week. So like Tegan and Sarah or fucking whatever album.
Who
came out.
also wrote the Lego Movie song? Seriously, with the Lonely Island. So
Yeah.
if you can imagine those great tastes coming together to create something that will.
He did have a strange affinity for the Timbaland album that came out a few years ago. Several years ago now. And he played that long after that was new. And he was like, put the Timbaland album on. And he's a real asshole. Just like the surliest douche. But yeah, and then at Tower, no one gave a shit. And everybody that worked there was kind of like from Daly City and kind of really into rap. So we just listened to like Too Short and E40 and shit all day. It was great because there was young kids that worked there that were hardcore rap fans. And then there was this guy Lyndon who worked in the classical jazz section. And it was awesome. It was just completely different camps of people in this building.
My turn.
He was sequestered in that room and he had his own playlist. And
Was it a room? That
yes,
makes sense.
it was a separate room.
It makes sense. Please get them away from the teenagers.
There was a guy in the shipping department who like packaged stuff, and his name was literally Cranky.
Was that Dave? Did you make that noise?
No, that was
Was that
Barbie.
Cranky Kong?
That was nobody.
What are you queuing up, man?
Nothing.
Checking your
Honey.
email.
So this is after my time, but my friend Josh, who's been on several episodes before, did send me this jam from Phineas and Ferb.
That's what my baby says. And my heart starts pumping.
It's
Never gonna stop.
you can notice this is super popular with the kids, man. This is great. Like it's called the Gitchy Gitchy Goo music video.
Like, you have to choose to make your kids hear this, though, right? Unless they're watching the show and it plays in the background.
All I want to do is force my kids to listen to They Might Be Giants children's music.
Yeah.
Those albums are fantastic.
Strangely,
That's-
I don't
that's
think
your
they
job
play-
as a parent. You're
I
a
don't-
curator.
I don't think they played any Might Be Giants.
That's really weird because they even had like a song all about the ABCs.
Yeah, here come the
and
ABCs.
Here come the ABCs. Here
There
come
was
the 1,
that
2, 3s.
Robot Patrol song.
The state songs about steaks. Robot Parade.
Parade, that's right.
Damn, Mike, you know your
Yeah,
TMBG.
I like my TMB. Man. They good people.
Robot Parade.
the
Is that how
robots made.
At least I don't think. I'm trying to load.
What about Dr. Worm? They never played. Dr. Worm was like their first famous kids song.
Scotty Two Hotties.
Was it? No, god damn it. See, they call me Dr. Worm. Good morning. How are
I
you, Dr.
recognize
Worm?
this alphabet song.
of nations. Alphabet of nations.
Man, this is already like worlds beyond.
Yes,
Worlds-
this is already. So it's like, wow, instrumentation.
Bulgaria, Cambodia, Dominica,
I've never heard
Egypt,
this.
France, the Gambia, Hungary, Iran, Japan, Kazakhstan, Libya, and
Love me some TMBG.
They're
Yeah,
fantastic.
They're pretty lovely.
What is it about kids? Most kids' music, especially that Phineas and Ferb song, it reminds me of like 50s music. Like somehow that's been adopted as the safe children's music. The doo-wop, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Yeah.
Get the
Well, it's
witchy,
probably
witchy,
because it's only
wah-wah.
old white people making it.
You think
so?
so?
Their frame of reference is probably
Yeah, this
30
is really
years.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the piano-
It's the I don't know, it's the endemic problem of kids' entertainment though is that 80% of it is dog ass.
It's because it's super fucking easy.
Right, but then it's just like, isn't it your job as a parent to not? I mean, I can understand your kid getting obsessed with some dumb bullshit, like if he's watching Phineas and Ferb and hears that song, like, oh, Phineas Ferb song, and you're like, okay, fine,
Sure,
just
right.
shut up. And it's like, but outside of that, it's up to you to fucking make sure the things that
Yes.
he hears and sees or she are
To be
dog
fair,
crap.
we did. How many times did
He-Man.
Huh?
He-Man. I had
No,
put my
but
parents through
how
all
many
things
times
He-Man.
I like excitedly listened to Happy Happy Joy Joy
Yeah.
when that song was probably making
It was
fun of that.
It was meant to be annoying.
yeah,
and
but it's like as a parent, all you would hear was like, "What the fuck?" And as a
you're
kid,
calling me a liar, and then that sudden breakdown.
Yes.
It's really weird.
why didn't you believe me? This is. I really do love this.
I've listened to that several times in its entirety. I'll just be working, and it's like, yep, this is fine.
It sounds like you account for a sixth of the views. Our goal should be to get people to this YouTube video.
Can we monetize it? Can we offer that guy a laser time promotion?
It's not a bad intro. If we
That has to be an outtake, because I don't think there's any scream that's actually that long.
Yeah, when he dies at the end and it blows up, but it can't. He must
they're-
have stitched two together.
Yes.
But there are
yeah.
probably other sounds happening around that, maybe some echoing effects.
And then one of the. This is kind of in between the two.
Uh-oh, Warner Brothers. I like it.
The names of all 50
Yes,
states
Animaniacs.
and their capitals.
Is that Mom?
Okay.
That's their teacher.
So I would have listened to Animaniacs. Wacko sing about
This is great.
the state capitals.
This is a good one.
Here goes. Boston and Albany, New York, Tallahassee, Florida,
Hey,
Ringo Starr.
Santa Fe, Mexico, and Nashville, Tennessee. Elvis used to hang out there a lot, you know.
I know Springfield,
Princeton, New Jersey,
Illinois.
north of Jefferson, Missouri. You got Richmond in Virginia, South Dakota has Pierre, Harrisburg's in Pennsylvania, and Augustus up in
And I
Maine.
can't
And
hear
here is
this, the
Providence,
background
Rhode
song,
Island,
Turkey in the
next to
Straw,
Delaware.
without being
Concord,
frustrated
Hampshire, just up
because
with
of there was a
Georgia,
Big Bird game for Atari 2600. we had to catch eggs, but it got so difficult at the end. I just
You fucked up, Dave.
Oh, no.
Don't trade
that was
me
gonna
in.
be my sister.
And there's Lincoln in Nebraska, and it's Raleigh out in North Carolina,
this.
and then there's Madison, Wisconsin.
It's
and
building up to the
Olympia,
Illinois,
Washington,
which I would just sit there and be like,
Phoenix, Arizona, and Lansing,
just say
Michigan.
Springfield, Illinois.
Here's Honolulu, Hawaii's a joy. Jackson, Mississippi, and Springfield, Illinois. South Carolina with Columbia down the
All right. You know, another Animaniacs song I remember hearing.
Lake Titicaca.
What?
It's a really good song.
You crazy. How about instead, I hit mute during this advertisement?
Please.
Huh?
Vamp?
Do you know how many
Vamp.
ads I've muted during the show?
You probably made a really bad YouTube channel, 75 cents. At this
I'm going to go ahead and suggest AdBlock be installed on our laptops.
We're human race. It's a great big universe.
universe
We're
is
all really puny. We're just tiny
little specks about the size of Mickey Rooney.
It's big and black and inky, and we are
Kids, Mickey Rooney?
But
Yes.
well, how were we expected to know who Mickey Rooney was at this
Jiminy
point?
Jillikers. Jiminy Jillikers.
I only knew him from The Simpsons making fun of him.
Seriously, Mickey Rooney had been famous for at least 70 years when this song was made. That guy has been in one piece of mainstream entertainment every decade for 100 years.
And don't get him confused with Andy Rooney from the 60 Minutes
No,
videos.
long dead. Too grumpy.
and we're part of a vast
I love-
interplanetary system
Rob
stretching
Paulson.
700 billion miles long.
This is like the only popular Animaniacs song that didn't really have any educational value. Like it's just like
This is educational
It's-
value.
it's not
what am I
facts.
learning? Yeah, but it's not. Yeah,
It's
not
ideas.
like it's not
It's-
listing countries or states.
No, but
or,
Because that's what most children's songs do is they bark facts at
Yeah.
you over
But
a melody.
this is teaching you about the scope of existence,
Yes,
man.
Bro, have you ever heard Dark Side of the Moon?
It teaches you about the solar system and planets and the difference between comets and the
The
distant.
whole time he's like riding around in a spaceship, right? Showing you like how insignificant we are in the universe.
It's very Lovecraftian.
But I always found that comforting. Like, yeah, I'm in trouble at school, but man, Jupiter's
matter.
huge. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, all right, whatever. How we doing on time?
You can take a break.
Let's take a break, shall we? And when we come back, I have even more awful stuff.
What's wrong? Come a little closer.
Okay, hi, yes, welcome to the break. Got to be quick about this because it's a big day, and I don't want you to think this is April's foolishness. We'll have none of that horse shit on Laser Time this week, unless you check April 1st, that's all I'm saying. There's probably a new episode of VG Empire. There's probably a new episode of Video Game Apocalypse. What's it going to be about? I don't know. You see like a weird Michael Bay trailer last week that got the internet and all big old tizzy. Maybe it has something to do with that. I'm not telling. You find out tomorrow. Look at LaserTimePodcast.com, you dinks. You know we got WrestleMania coming up, and the Cheap Popcast Show will probably have something to say about it. We also have Cape Crisis this week, which you can hear a little clip of after this very moment. But yeah, we always encourage people to go to LaserTimePodcast.com. There's a ton of shit to do there. I believe Brett Elston just put up the third in a series of Blunder Lizards features, screen grabs of the awful shit-ass Hanna-Barbera Godzilla cartoon from like the 1970s. Just an awful time for everyone. And we got some comics reviews up there, some Silver Surfer reviews, I think. But also you can do there, you can donate to Laser Time. Any denomination you want via the PayPal button on the left-hand side. It's underneath every Laser Time article. You can buy a t-shirt from our t-shirt store, also there in the left-hand sidebar. But then if you avert your eyes over to the right-hand sidebar, we've tried to pimp some Amazon products to you, things you might like. If you don't like those, just click in the store, buy something, and you didn't give us anything, and you contributed money to Laser Time, the cause we call it, just by buying something off of Amazon. It's that easy. Thank you for supporting Laser Time. We're done. Back to whatever stupid thing we're doing.
Last week on Cape Crisis.
I haven't been able to read any comics practically. So all this week I was on jury duty.
Oh!
And just before coming here, finally got booted out. So
What did you do? Which race did you disparage?
Oh my god. So first of all, wow.
Murder?
Wow. It was a murder case, and the whole 60s were murdered. No.
Could be someone's first episode. They don't want to miss that.
They are, yeah, it is murdering the show. No, it was a murder case, and there's 100-something people in the room. So then, they call.
That's how many they start with?
They start with 100.
That's awful. That's like first season of American Idol kind of horse shit. Takes an entire season.
It took 3 days to get me out. But anyway, 100-something people in a room.
Trial of the Incredible Hulk.
Randomly, finally put in Shredder away.
That's Cape Crisis, the comic book podcast you must listen to every Thursday or Friday.
Laser Time, second segment.
All aboard! Let's go! 'Cause I'm headed for the top, no mistaking. And my destiny's mine for the taking. At the burners on rock, 'cause it's like that. Just in case a black hole wanna act up. I'm a big shot, moon big coming up. In control of my life like a space fish. But I still keep it real with my parents. Don't hit, won't trip while I'm on earth. When I'm in the make a way, it's my way. Just giving up ain't an option. Where I'm going ain't no man ever been. Life speed like this, I'm ahead of them.
Hi, welcome back. I don't really know what we're coming in on.
Caught you by surprise.
I don't have it.
Aaron Carter's Jimmy Neutron time.
Sure.
I kind of like what Aaron Carter's become.
Which is what?
A bizarre kind of horny, incredibly outspoken, Twitter weirdo who still tours. But it's like he's very just much. I just want to fuck something. God.
God, it sucks.
He's really just kind of gross now, but people are into it. It's pretty
I saw
great.
a picture of one of those Carters, those pretty little blonde boys, and the same transition like Draco Malfoy eventually made an awkward adult they had made as well. Such a pretty group of blonde kids.
So from that time period in Blonde Kids,
nice segue. Rugrats.
Was this the Mace song?
I don't know who sings this.
Do you know who's doing?
Mace is on
You know who's doing the music?
Is it Aaliyah? No.
No, it's Mark Mothersbaugh. He did
This?
the song.
Oh no,
the
yeah,
theme song.
the song, yeah. But this rap song,
sounds like Maya, right?
Yeah. I think Mace has a verse on it. But yeah.
Harlem World.
Take you there. He went from murder mace to becoming
A preacher in like 3 years.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
There's some kind of respect I want to give that guy. He walked away from like a shitload of fame and a shitload of money and never ever came back. Never bothered. And he did it at like 22, where most people like, I didn't mean that. I'm coming back. I'm done retiring.
The guy from
oh wow, I do.
I was too old for this movie, so
The Rugrats movie,
Yeah.
or the Paris movie, or
Well,
the
this
versus
is
the
ju-
Wild Thornberries.
this is just regular Rugrats. But
I only remember like 2 Maze songs, but did he ever exhibit like any emotion? Like he always just seemed to
that
like.
wasn't his thing.
He was,
But like when you become a preacher, don't you have to be like
That's true.
passionate,
That's
or
true.
did he just have that same like,
This
"Oh,
is true.
God's good"?
or confirm everything Puff Daddy said with a gesture.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
big.
What?
All right, it's Blackstreet featuring Maya Mace and apparently somebody named Blinky Blink, who I've literally never heard of.
you don't know about Blinky? Come on, Greg.
I don't know about Blink.
On that note, also, do you remember the Clips, that rap group?
Yes.
One of the guys
did,
basically dropped out of the public light
Justify
to
My Booty?
become a Christian. No.
no love for Justify My Booty.
Booty tootie.
Yes, booted and tooted.
Too true for you.
Want to freak you in the ass?
I want to freak you in the ass.
Ass and titties. That's DJ Assault.
Well, there's that Big Sean song that's just ass, 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 ass,
Is that Big
ass,
Sean?
ass.
That's not DJ Assault?
No.
Oh, I love DJ Assault.
I do believe we're naked by Funky C. Funky
You see Funky Do.
So speaking of the Rugrats theme song, I did have to also listen to, and this overtime just totally.
Introduced to you by a friend.
Oh, who is that?
We've closed out a show in this.
Natalie
this.
Imbruglia?
This is might as well be
Lisa
but-
Loeb.
No.
Next thing I know,
Same time period, same thing with a cartoon movie, with a bunch of songs from contemporary artists. It's not Vitamin C, if you were thinking that.
moving too fast. Don't
Maybe if I jump to the chorus.
don't say you
Wow.
I got nothing.
Pokemon, the first movie.
Yeah, there you go.
M2M, Don't Say You Love Me.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Hurry, it's not like we're gonna get married.
How'd they get the name M2M? Is that from the popular Craigslist section?
I think they were -7 when Craigslist was. Actually, I don't
They
know.
had to change their name from A to M to that.
AM2 even, like rolling start, etc.
Sex joke, Sega joke in the course of 10 seconds.
Well, that's where my heart is. The butt stuff is fine, but you know, I want to see a horse gallop next to an Indy car.
You heard it here first. Elson is okay with the butt stuff.
Well, I'm talking about it.
I love this song.
This is my favorite 80s song of all time.
It's mine too. Didn't we discussed
I think we've
that.
discussed this, but this is one of the greatest 80s songs ever.
It's Big Country by Big Country off the album Big Country.
Country. This is one of the greatest songs, and this is another one of those like.
Did they play this in Toys R Us?
Yeah, I would leave the floor, go into the storeroom, and just sit somewhere where no one could bother me, and just listen and just.
This is like a real song.
Oh,
This is really. This is one of my favorite songs ever.
no, this. Duran Duran is one of my favorite bands, but this is my favorite. Like, what's your favorite '80s song, quote unquote? This is my goddamn.
When we first started doing our dumb little podcast at the other place, we all went away for Thanksgiving, which is like the longest we were going to be apart since the podcast started. And we played this song talking about what we're going to do as
Oh,
we're out in
yeah,
the country, and it made me. I just kept listening to the outro over and over again.
I like to
I
imagine.
come from a big country down under.
Nothing.
Really? Have you never?
That's a good song.
Oh,
Listen to this part.
What movie is this from?
Who starts a song like that? It's a line from American Hustler.
but that was definitely one of those like, thank you God, thank you. Thank
That's not a movie
you.
soundtrack, right?
I don't know, but it fucking should be.
I get it confused with that.
I have closed out a couple of films that I had made with I have, and no one's ever seen them, but
I like to imagine like
This is porno collection.
I get it confused with the Big Chill.
no.
I know it's not. I know it's not. But when I hear
The song was popular in the year The Big Chill was out. The Big Chill was all like Motown shit.
well, the Big Chill had the very famous song from the Spencer Davis Group, which was also, I believe, played in Toys R Us. Which
John
was
Spencer.
Are you going to cue it, Casey
Blues
Kasem?
Explosion Band.
Ah, here we go.
the "Gimme Some Lovin',"
Yeah. This
which
song,
forever I thought was "You Deserve a Medal."
you deserve a medal. So glad we made it.
So glad when
I remember the song being used in a great scene in maybe. Does anybody remember the movie Sleepers?
Yes.
And this is when they steal the hot dog cart
Yes.
and end up going to jail for
Killing that
You
dude.
deserve
killing
a
that
medal.
dude. Is that
Who
movie?
is this?
Spencer Davis Group. It's a great
Davis
song.
Group. Yeah, it is. This is a
It
classic.
is used in I think every Julia Roberts trailer
Yeah.
ever made.
This reminds me of like wave pools for some reason.
It reminds me of The Sandlot.
I can see that.
I was gonna say, like, so the job that I worked at for years, that like there was a lot of music playing during, was when I worked at Adventureland, the theme park in New York.
A movie starring Bill Hader.
Yeah, they based it on that, but that's not
Wow,
where
really?
they filmed it.
That's so
But
weird.
that song and Tears of a Clown were the so like
The
the
Tears of a Clown.
yeah, it was called the music dance at Adventureland, but it's a common thing where it's like kind of a circular track that cars like go on and they're all like going together, and then halfway through they go backwards.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah,
it-
yeah, absolutely.
I don't know the like official name for
No,
it.
and
but-
they swing out a little bit as they go faster.
no, they're all like bolted down.
I'll shut up. now.
Yeah, but those two songs like reminded me of that. But yeah, besides that, it was for some reason we had like an hour Phil Collins block. At the beginning.
Nice.
And
Oh man, Phil Collins.
Yeah.
All right.
but we also had a medley that closed out, which was like there was productions that were made for Adventureland because it was narrated by the Pirates of Adventureland. But
What is that? Is that a thing?
it was just the park is closing. This is the Pirates of Adventureland saying ye must leave or whatever. And then it was
Fast, ye shitheads.
and then it was it was a medley of y'all ready for this? Good night, sweetheart. And then Whitney Houston singing the national anthem. I have no idea, but yeah.
I'm just gonna glue shit together that I find.
As a young boy growing up in, as name checked in Wacko Song, Tallahassee, Florida, a Leon County Fair would come, and every ride seemed to every ride
Its daughter has been equipped with ballistics.
every ride seemingly was allowed to pick their own song. 80% of them Rats Round and Round. and it's up until like the year 2000 when I stopped going. It was all
It's the perfect. Well, when you're just like professional merry-go-rounder,
But
like why wouldn't I? Pick
we
this?
call it when we hear it on the radio. We call it the fair song because we had no idea who Rat was. It just played every time we went to the fair,
It is a perennial.
and only Rat song.
So, Chris, I heard a lot of Disney songs.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy!
Pretty much every name a song, and I heard an elephant fly.
A dream is a wish your heart makes.
Which one's that from?
Sleeping Beauty.
Probably like every song. But
Cinderella? I can't
but the one I heard the least and the one I liked the most, of course, was
Yeah, Son of Man
Little Tarzan, Son of Man.
by Phil Collins.
Yeah. So Phil Collins did the entire soundtrack
That's right.
to Tarzan, and I saw this movie in the theater. In fact, this was the weekend I started at Toys R Us. So Tarzan is very tied in my head with getting a job out of high school.
A great scene too. This is the montage sequence of him learning things and growing older.
No,
and
this is a
becoming
great
more
movie.
awesome.
This is a fantastic movie.
Any Phil Collins album after No Jacket Required is basically there's an arc.
I know.
And the arc is a 90-degree down.
The best thing,
After that.
the best thing that came out of this is that Trey Parker and Matt Stone lost the Oscar for Blame Canada to Phil Collins, and the next 3 years, Phil Collins would play the villain in multiple South Park episodes. They would go and sled on a mountain made out of Phil Collins' head.
Same time period, maybe a year later, much worse.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah.
Who is this? Hold on, I can get this. I can get this. I am
Filter?
Tonic.
Shut up.
Not
Not
Tonic. Sister Mary 11.
Oh my god. Is this where like the nice guy movement sprung forth from?
The song's actually about God.
Milady.
Oh, Jars of Clay.
No, that song by Jars of Clay that had mainstream crossover is fucking awesome.
Really?
What was that called? If I Can't Swim After 40 Days? Dude, it's really good.
Yeah. What is this, Brett?
This is Vertical Horizon.
Ugh, Jesus Christ. Yep.
Is that an airplane instrument joke?
Over 200. Oh.
Liz!
Liz! Oh, God. The tyranny of that ad is finally over. Instead, Lysol.
6 foot handsome.
Lysol is bothering. You know what, Lysol?
Disinfectant spray.
You know,
Get it out.
Help protect your
You owe us $5.
Fine. You know what? For this guy who didn't have anything to
Sounded
do
like
with
what's his face from Wonder Chosen.
Liz.
Clarence?
God.
This pussy boy Southern rock was fucking everywhere, and it was so irritating.
All right, well, I'll move on.
Oh, man, I hated
Back
it.
to...
There we go.
So this is actually a weird case of an old song. Like, I'd never heard of this, and then through hearing it at Toys R Us, I bothered to look it up, found out, and I actually really like this song now.
Which one is
By
Bully Bully?
Chris Montez. I had never heard of this until Toys R Us.
Hey, baby, won't you take a chance?
And I've since heard it in commercials, like, lately.
Yeah.
I imagine it's very cheap to buy.
Probably.
Well, it perfectly scores, like, even a grocery store. If somebody's setting up a picnic table, running through a sprinkler, can you see it now? I'm Don Draper is what I'm saying.
I'm doing a lifestyle thing, moving a Swiffer around the room, smiling at my beautiful wife and children.
Then I'm going to do the Batusi.
This song has appeared everywhere, ironically, except for the video game Let's Dance.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's a nice, pleasant song that wasn't about tying my shoes, so I was fine with it.
It sounds like a fucking lovely summer song, period.
Yeah.
Play that song at a barbecue. It's going to be a big, big hit.
Imagine that being alive when that came out, and it's like, whoa, it's edgy. That's some edgy rock right there.
Yeah, dude, they're using an organ in this song.
Who does this song? Faster than other things. The kids are going to get up in arms. Their dander's going to get riled up.
Do kids give off dander?
Sure.
Okay.
It's all the sex dander from the illicit sex they're having.
Schmagma, we call it.
Damn it, there's a song I was trying to... I can't remember the name of it.
Was it the Batusi?
No,
So we played that on another show.
Certainly wasn't. But this is...
The story of a girl.
Who, something, the whole world. This, oh boy, this is where it all started for me, which is what... I finally found this through like a wiki, and I clicked a thing, and then all of a sudden I found this song, and I've referenced it ad nauseum on every show, and this is my go-to reference for any celebrity cameo.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I wonder who's in here. Linda Ronstadt.
It's so good to see you
Oh,
again.
yeah, it's good to see you too.
Hey, we could use some help.
What?
Would you like to sing some harmony?
Well, I don't know if I could really. I mean,
I'm
I'd
not
love
even
to
Jim
try, but-
Henson.
Please?
Wow, Robert Loggia.
Oh.
Okay, so, well, for me, Brett sent me this YouTube video a couple months ago. It's off the Kermit Unplugged album, which is a parody of the...
Unpigged.
Unpigged, Jesus. And
it features Vince Gill and Linda Ronstadt.
Vince Gill.
And all of a
Creator
sudden,
Breaking
any
Bad.
celebrity appearance has... I thought it was Henry who did this, but it was you who inserted my brain. This is our shorthand for every celebrity pop-in, Linda Ronstadt.
Linda
And
Ronstadt?
that it actually is it's fucking astounding.
No, I was like, yeah. I was so
I did not know it existed until a couple months ago. We've been making that joke for fucking years.
Yeah.
Didn't know it was real. Our doorbell just rang.
Yeah. Listen, everybody,
What a
I'll just
bitch.
ask the receptionist where we're supposed to
I don't know if you'll never guess where this is
Excuse me,
going.
ma'am.
Pardon me, but the livestock entrance is around Band.
Billy
Oh,
Tomlin.
no, see, we're the Muppets.
Muppets.
Straight out of Compton.
Mopeds, muffins. Oh, here it is, Muppets. You must be.
I actually don't know how
Kermit.
long this goes on until the song
A
kicks in.
talking frog, huh? What's next? A singing pig?
Yeah, well, Miss Piggy's running a little late.
Listen, I'd love to chat about your personal problems,
Oh,
believe you
sorry.
me.
Well, could you just tell us how to get to our studio?
Please, you go just down this hall, take 2 lefts, a right.
God.
Get that?
No.
No idea.
Well, look,
Go
just
west
follow
on
me.
me,
We'll
and
find
then
it.
take the other
Why
side.
don't you come with me? Fozzie, that's the bathroom. Don't go in there.
Well, they really thought there was a lot of tolerance for this.
Yes. Wow. He drives me crazy.
This
Mr. Frog,
be my
excuse me.
baby, it
I
don't matter
believe
if you're
this
green or
wine
pink.
For me?
My eyes have seen the glory of the trampling at the zoo.
Oh, Piggy, not now. I don't really feel...
So,
I wanna sex
makes you up. The way I feel.
So instead of bothering to play the actual song, which would have been fine, it's Miss Piggy and Kermit singing it to each other.
Like I mean, just in terms of time periods, like this was 4 years after the song was already considered very lame. But Fine Young Cannibals are awesome.
This is from 1994, playing in a Toys R Us in 2000.
Yeah,
good lord.
Treat me right.
But it's the chorus that's so great. It's the flourishes from Miss Piggy.
She drives me crazy.
Oh.
She drives me crazy, and I can't help myself. I'm listening, Piggy.
You got it right in the P spot there.
Where do I stop it? All right.
And you know that the director or whoever like put together the song had to tell the actress who plays Miss Piggy, like, can you make it less like a sexual moan?
Just being responsible for telling Miss Piggy less sexy reflects poorly on you, my son, the puppeteer.
Yes. So.
But that's that then.
I'm trying to.
What a transition.
That's okay. It's okay. I came to bat with a winner. Well, that means somebody else has to step up and get me off second base.
I wonder if this will tell me. I'm trying to I'm on Yahoo freaking Answers, hoping. Is this the song I want? Probably not.
Wave his hand. This is not the song you want.
No longer available. Great.
Well, Star Trek reference for you there, guys.
Jesus Christ.
I was actually in
that was a good one. Never mind. Go ahead.
I was in a JCPenney literally the last week, and they still have these stations that aren't real stations that play songs no one cares about anymore. And I don't know if you recall the Sean Paul song "Like Glue."
No.
I don't really know what people say. I don't really know what them want to do.
Oh yes,
like
God,
that song came on, and I was like looking at Jeans, and I was like, I like looked up from what I was doing, just like.
That is one of the worst songs ever. Like
it's bad.
It's this droning. Like the song never builds or changes. It's just like the same song for like 12 minutes.
His whole accent too is like the fakest patois I think I've ever heard. It's like a WWE wrestler, like South African Jamaican Kofi Kingston.
Oh, speaking of wrestlers, Dave had this queued up. I mean, Cactus Jack theme song.
Well, hopefully,
We're gonna get running from Chief Podcast.
will be on before this, so you'll be the passenger.
Yeah, you want to plug your show? I think we're done here.
We should.
Yes. Cheap Podcast. We'll have probably posted an Elimination Chamber episode before this. Yeah, wrestling.
Wrestling, baby. Laser Time. No, wait,
you're listening to it.
I'm in a different seat now. It's weird.
I do VG Empire, video game music podcast, where I play songs you do want to listen to. Henry's in the other room just yelling like he's part of the show. Cape Crisis, everyone, the comic book podcast. Listen to it.
Starring Henry, Hank, Max Gilbert.
Yes. That's the show.
Video Game Apocalypse, which Grim, Dave, and I are occasionally on. And Brett, very even less occasionally.
Less occasionally. True. I don't have a song to take us out because I blew my load here.
Got to be the Star Fox Alice.
Oh, very good. Very good.
And yes, that's it. Go to LaserTimePodcast.com to find out more. Please give us some comments on our show. Subscribe on iTunes and tell a friend via Facebook and Twitter. You can find us at LaserTime Show on both of those social services. You can donate anything you'd like. PayPal, the easiest way to contribute money to us, is just buy things through our Amazon links on LaserTimePodcast.com. Click any link you want. You don't have to buy that item. It's just entering Amazon and shopping that visit. What's that?
Who's in here? Linda Ronstadt.
Even Linda Ronstadt albums helps us out. Let's roll diarrhea.
Who's in here? Linda Ronstadt. Linda Ronstadt. Linda Ronstadt.